Hello, very warm welcome as Max delights his Dutch crowd and is on pole for the Zandvoort Grand Prix. We are live, so make sure to get your comments in the live chat. We are reacting live to Zandvoort qualifying. We're going to have a quick run through qualifying and then we'll jump into the comments. Max on pole at Zandvoort. It was highly expected, but he's got the job done. So we're going to have a quick run through qualifying and then we jump into the live chat. Now there should be people in the live chat today as we said that we were going to do this. So a critical qualifying for the race. And yeah, we saw red flags. Qualifying stars, a good one. You can give it Max, Gasly, Giovinazzi. Yeah. We have got people in the comments, so we'll run through quali and then we'll get to the live chat. So Q1, Ferrari managed to get Sainz out after his big crash. Vettel gets blocked massively by the two Hasses. Mazepin will get a penalty. Sergio Perez missed the line. And yeah, he didn't get a time on the board. Everyone else was going quicker. Perez had hit the line so he couldn't improve. Then Q2, we saw Russell have a rare mistake, red flag. And then Nicholas Latifi with a big crash as he touched the white line, also a red flag. And Lando Norris got knocked out. And then Q3, Max, provisional pole. Lewis Hamilton got so close to him. That was unbelievable last lap by Lewis. Yeah. I was very surprised he got that close. We've got Dane in the comments. We've got David in the comments. Great to see. Yeah, we'll just run down the order, then we'll get to the live chat. So, yeah, Zandvoort qualifying reaction. Max delights the Dutch army. And, yeah, Russell, Latifi, mistakes. Williams probably struggling with the wind. So yeah, let's get into the order as we run down. P1 Max, in front of his home crowd, orange flares, celebrations. It was pretty obvious he was going to get pole and in a class of one. P2 Lewis Hamilton, very surprising he got as close as he did. Yeah, I've got to say I'm impressed with Hamilton. Very close to pole. P3, Valtteri Bottas, once again, he's always fastest in practices, but Lewis beats him in quali. P4, another star of quali, Pierre Gasly. Outstanding. Once again, miles ahead of Tsunoda. What a performance by Pierre Gasly. I mean, who do you give quali starter? Max, Gasly or Giovinazzi for me. P5, Charles Leclerc. P6, Carlos Sainz. Fantastic effort given he crashed the car in practice 3. P7, Giovinazzi. He's become the team leader with Kimi Räikkönen being out with COVID. What an effort that is. His seat's under pressure and he goes and produces P7. Sensational. 8th, Esteban Ocon. 9th, Fernando Alonso. Alonso's been 5th, 6th and now he's down in 9th. That is unbelievable. Daniel Ricciardo, P10, outqualified Norris, a rarity. P11, George Russell, a rare mistake as he hit the wall, couldn't go back out. P12, Lance Stroll. 13th, a big shock, Lando Norris. Wow. Didn't get to do his laps with the red flags, but he should have done a lap earlier. 14th, Latifi, big crash as he touched the white line. Red flag. 15th, Yuki. Forget Yuki. He's had no pace. I mean, Gasly's in 4th. Yuki's down in 15th. 16th. Wow. Sergio Perez. I mean, what are Red Bull doing? Get out there and get a lap on the board. And then, because they slowed down in the pitch trying to get a gap, Perez ended up missing the line. And then everyone's going quicker. Yeah, that's a horror quali by Perez. And you can't overtake, so he'll be lucky to score points. 17th, Sebastian Vettel. Massively blocked by the two Hasses. Unforgivable, really. 18th on return, Robert Kubica, filling in for Kimi Raikkonen, who has COVID. A strong qualifying by Kubica, given he had one practice session ahead of both Hasses. 19th, Mick Schumacher, blocked Sebastian Vettel. 20th and last, Mazepin. He's going to get a penalty. And there we have it. Zandvoort qualifying reaction done. It was an intense qualifying. I really enjoyed it. Loving the atmosphere. And Max is on pole. It's going to be pretty intense going on the first lap with Hamilton Max. So let's jump into the live chat. So any comments, get them in now. Now is the time to get in. So we got Dane in. Hello, Dane. I think Mercedes will win because Perez is starting P16. They could play with strategy. That is possible. Max is always fighting like with two hands tied behind his back because he's never got his teammate up there with him. Giovinazzi deserves qualifying star. I think that is... Well, it's between Max, Gasly, Giovinazzi. You're right, actually. Alfa Romeo, under pressure for his seat. That is a fantastic effort by Giovinazzi. Wow, that's sensational. P7. I reckon we've got David in there. I reckon Christian would be wishing he put Gasly in the second seat. I don't know what it is. Gasly's never going to get another opportunity at Red Bull, is he? They just don't believe in him. He's at home in that AlphaTauri. It's sensational. But, like, I don't know. I don't think he's going to get another chance at Red Bull. They've gone with Perez. Perez has got that new contract. He crashed at Spa. And now he's out again in Q1. So, yeah. I mean, he gets the new contract and then his performances have gone to shit. Yeah, I really enjoyed the quali. Really did. It was intense. It was like edge of your seat stuff. Here we go again. Dane in the comments. This is what it's all about for me. People reacting to qualifying. About Tsunoda. It wasn't his fault that many people at the start that he was beating Pitt and then he's getting beaten by Gasly. Tsunoda's under pressure, but I think his seat's safe now. They believe in him. They're going to give him time, but I mean, Gasly's in 4th. Tsunoda's down in 15th. He's never been to this track before, though, to be fair to Yuki. But it's not great, is it? That is 11 places difference from your teammate. Second shortest track on the calendar. Yeah, I mean, we're doing 1 minute 8. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Max, I mean, he put the banker lap in. I thought it's done and dusted. And then Max went a little bit quicker. And then Hamilton, wow, he nearly got pole. So close in the end. Impressive. Very impressive. Carlos Sainz deserves a big shout out. Massive credit to the Ferrari mechanics for getting him back out there. And he ends up P6. He was looking like missing qualifying. Start 20th. That's his weekend done. But he's qualified 6th. He can score points from there. Mr. Joshy J, hello, welcome. Sergio Perez is absolutely screwed for this weekend. Yeah. He's messed up his weekend massively. Red Bull going to have to play on strategy. We know Sergio Perez's strength is on the tyres, so maybe he can start on the medium tyre, go long. Other people are going to pit on the soft, and then he can stay out, and try and like overcut them. But to score points is going to be difficult, for sure. I mean, it's awful that by Red Bull. Just get the bank, get a good lap in. And then because people are slowing down, trying to gain a gap in the pit lane, Perez has ended up missing the line. And then you've got like Giovinazzi and Stroll and everyone improving while he can't set a lap time. Another comment here from Dane. What do you think about Haas since joining in F1? Well, they started amazingly, Haas, and now they're the worst team on the grid. So, yep. I mean, it's great to see new teams come into the sport. I kind of wish we had more teams in the sport. But, yeah. Haas have gone from being very impressive to the worst team. Another comment here from David. It looks like Hamilton matched Max first time. Oof. They both did 189. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. That shocked me, to be honest, that Hamilton got that close. I thought Max had it in the bag. And for Lewis to get that close is very impressive indeed. I don't have the times in front of me. I mean, I can get them on my phone. So, yeah, I really enjoyed qualifying. Really enjoying this weekend as a whole. The crowd's sensational. Max is on pole. Adds even more to the atmosphere. Wow. 0.038. Wow. That is incredible. Come on, join live. I want to see the bloody times. Row in the comments, did Max's DRS fail on the last lap? I can't say I can answer that. I'm not too sure. Anyone in the comments, Max DRS fail on the last lap? Can't say I can answer that. But look at that. Max has done a 1.885. And Lewis Hamilton, 0.38 off. Wow. Incredible. That is incredible. Wow. Yeah, the comments are flying in now. I heard news that the reason why Bottas wasn't fighting for the World Championship, he said he wasn't given a multi-year deal. Well, he wants one now. Massive links to Alfa Romeo. And yeah, Bottas wants a long-term deal because at Mercedes, he just gets 1 year, 1 year, 1 year. I just rewound and it didn't open. That's good information. Thanks for that, David. Yeah, I'm not sure. But that is going to be a huge deficit for Max if he didn't have his DRS. Mr. Joshy J, the best two drivers on the front row, expect fireworks between Max and Lewis. Please keep it clean. Now that is a fantastic comment. We've got the two title rivals on the front row. We know what happened at Silverstone. Hopefully, as Mr. Joshy J says, it's a clean battle and no contact. Yeah, because there'll be riots if there's contact. Rowe, that was a fantastic point about Max's DRS. Thanks for letting us know that, because honestly, I did not know that. So, yeah, great. Great to hear that, because F1 Fan Gamer, hello, welcome. Where's your mod status gone? Where's your spanner gone? Ah, there we go. Sorted that. No DRS, Sector 3. Interesting. I mean, that is a very short DRS zone, but, yep, I mean... Haven't heard any boos yet. Yet the Dutch crowd seems... They've been fair to Hamilton. There was a couple of cheers when he broke down, but it's all part of the fun and games. Row again. Yes, Max was 3/10 down in the final sector. Wow. Yeah. I'm very surprised it was that close. And it does seem like Max has not had DRS. So that is a massive deficit for Max. So that explains why the gap was closer than it probably should have been. Max was comfortably on pole. But as a Lewis fan, I'm quite happy with second. I didn't expect pole, so yeah, I'm quite happy with that. Russell spun. I know, I couldn't believe it. George makes a mistake. I think that's the first time I've seen Russell make a mistake. And he was on for a good lap. Could have possibly got into Q3. But he made a mistake. The first time we've seen George really, crumple kind of thing. I mean, it looked worse than it was, really. I mean, he went in backwards. He knocked, like, the advertising board off. I mean, he would have done damage, but it wasn't massive. Who is your... Oh, my God. This is a great question. Who is your least favourite driver in F1? Button or Schumacher? Now, Dane, I don't know whether you're having me on. You know I don't like either. You least favourite between Button and Schumacher? I would have to go... That's a tough one, to be fair. I'd probably go Michael. Respect what he achieved in the sport, but I don't know, he was just never my favourite driver, Schumacher. But we all have our favourite drivers. We all have different opinions, and this is why F1 is great. And this is fantastic. People in the live chat giving their thoughts on qualifying. When I first started this, it was all about interaction with people, getting people's thoughts. So I'm just looking at the quali here. We got Valtteri Bottas P3. He was 3/10 off pole. He's got a good record round here. Then we got Gasly 5/10 off P4. Outstanding. Then the Ferrari boys. Not much separating them two. That's a great effort by Sainz, considering he stuck it in the wall. And as F1 Fan Gamer says, Giovinazzi P7. Outstanding. I mean, he's become the team leader with Kimi Raikkonen having COVID. He's under pressure for his seat. Big rumours to defreeze. And that's one way to silence that talk about him losing his seat. Unbelievable. I mean, he's been really good in qualifying. He needs to work on his race pace, Giovinazzi. Outlaw, hello, welcome. Well done, Lewis. I agree, but it's power to the max. Shame for the last DRS. I've got to say, this is great to hear because I didn't know about that DRS. So, big shout out to the people saying that. Happy for Max, P1. And a really good lap from Lewis. That's a fair comment. Yeah. But Max, he would have been on pole by 2-3 times easy if he had had the DRS. Any reason why it didn't open? Has anyone got any clarification why it didn't open? Like, obviously, he must have said that in his interview. I've not heard the interviews. I just came straight on here and reacted. We got the two Alpines, 8th and 9th. I think that's disappointing for Fernando, given he was 5th, 6th. Daniel Ricciardo, I mean, he won't be happy with 10th, but he'll be happy that he's out-qualified Norris. George Russell, a rare mistake. Lance Stroll, P12, best Aston Martin. Who is better, Stroll or Giovinazzi in F1? I would say Stroll. He's got the podiums, so yeah. But it's a bit hard to compare them two, as Giovinazzi's not really had the machinery. Norris, 13th. That's a bad quali by Norris. Yeah, he's not had a great 2 weeks, has he, Norris? Crash at Spa. Knocked out this weekend in Q2. Latifi, big crash for him, brought out the red flag, 14th. Sonoda, 15th, we've covered about him. It's not great when his teammates lie in 4th. Got a pop up there. Again, I'm watching What's that? I've missed that comment. Bloody comments are going actually quick. It jumped up. I'm watching Dutch F1. If I know why DRS did not open, I'll let you know. Thank you. Yeah, I didn't. I only know about that because of the people. That's fantastic. Great information. Fair play to Sainz, I agree. And his mechanics. Good effort. And he actually nearly beat Leclerc. 16th Perez, we've talked about him. He's going to have his work cut out tomorrow. 17th Vettel. I mean, that is a horrible qualifying for Sebastian, but he did get blocked, to be fair to him. Strong debut for Kubica. I think that's a good qualifying. He's thrown in at the deep end. He's got 1 hour practice. He's out-qualified both Hasses. Obviously, he's been massively outshined by Giovinazzi, but, I mean, Kubica, I mean, he's had 3 practice sessions this season, I think. And then come the Hasses as expected. Mazepin's going to get a penalty, but giving him a penalty is kind of pointless because he's last anyway. So it's not really getting a penalty unless you're starting from the pit lane. Dane again. Do you think everybody is being harsh on Mazepin considering the video? I feel you got to judge him on track now, Mazepin. Yeah, and he's not really showing anything, is he? And blocking people like today is not going to help Mazepin. He needs to start beating Mick Schumacher a lot more. I mean, he had a spin in the gravel in one of the practice sessions. So, yeah, I mean, Mazepin, he's not going to be the most popular driver, but is what it is. Oh, no. We've got no data there for a second. Shit. Oh, sugar lumps. Don't tell me. No, we're back. It looks like we had a bit of no data there. We've gone from excellent condition to no data. That's not bloody good. Right, we've covered the order now. F1 Fan Gamer. Mazepin shouldn't be anywhere near F1. Entitled to your opinion. I think he's going to be here next year, though, especially with his sponsor, Uralkali. Haas, financially, not great, not stable, so, yeah, I expect them to have the same driver lineup, to be fair. I mean, Williams, now, was Russell's down to pushing too much, or was it due to the wind? We know the Williams car doesn't really deal with the wind too well. Latifi's was definitely driver error. Any more comments? Get them in the live chat. Just going to have a drink. Been talking for a good 20 minutes. So, I enjoyed that qualifying session. I think it's fantastic. I think we're in... I don't know if the race is going to be great tomorrow, but it is what it is. We go into the unknown. We've got Max, Lewis, 1-2, absolutely epic. Let's hope for a good race and a clean battle. But I feel it's going to be very difficult to overtake, but we see what happens. So, I do think Mazepin is a good driver because he won an F2 race. But people are harsh because of the money, and he did finish 5th. Yeah, 5th in the championship. He won a couple of races. His defending didn't help in F2 though, especially at Bahrain when he pushed a couple of people off. Ant Davidson said George touched the inside curb. Oh yeah, that's a good point actually by David. He did, you're right. Yeah, I watched that myself. So, it looks like George touched the inside curb, but he was pushing very hard. Yeah, you got to say it was driver error by George. And Nicholas Latifi, again, was driver error because he got on the white line. Big impact into the barrier. Great to see him walk away. And yeah, don't know if Latifi's going to be taking any grid penalties or anything, because he did go in quite heavy. F1 fan gamer, there's so many more better drivers than Mazepin now. That is true, but they don't have the pound notes that Mazepin does. Like, you've got good quality drivers, like Callum Ilott did amazing in F2, never got a chance in F1. Like De Vries still hasn't got his chance in Formula 1, and he actually won the championship so in F2. So sometimes very harsh sport, very harsh business. Outlaw, he's got some information on Max's DRS. They say on Dutch TV that Max told he did shift gear wrong last sector from 4 to 6. He lost 1 or 2 tenths without DRS, and lost 1 or 2 tenths, and without DRS lost 3 or 4 tenths, they say on Dutch TV. Yeah, I've got to say, that does explain why it was so close between Max and Lewis, because I've got to admit, I was shocked. I just came on, I went live straight away. I did not know about Max's DRS, so a big shout out to Bo and Outlaw for letting us know about that. I've got to say, I honestly did not know about that, but that does explain why it was close. It was a great qualifying though. I really did enjoy it. Bit frustrating with the red flags, but of course we got to deploy the red flag. I mean, I feel when Russell went off, he put gravel all over the circuit. So they had to clean that up. And then Latifi, obviously, his was a big crash. So, yeah. Bottas is not aggressive enough to win a title. Absolutely agree. You know my thoughts on that. Yeah, hasn't got the spine to win a world championship. But again, Valtteri Bottas, fantastic on the Friday, ahead of Lewis. But when it matters, critical qualifying session, especially with maybe the possibility you can't overtake. Hamilton is in P2, Bottas P3. Hopefully Russell gets points too, but going to be difficult. Yep. Hopefully George can get a good start. Yeah. George, very impressive. But not today. He actually made a mistake. P11, George start on medium and go long. Might work out. Yep, good point. And I believe that's what Sergio Perez will do. DRS open a little bit, say Horner. But they can fix it for the race. he probably won't need it in the race. He'll be that far. He'll start and he'll be gone. He probably won't need it in the race. He's going to fly. I do think Max is going to win. It's all about the start, really. The start is critical, but it's not a massive run down to turn 1. Yeah. Are we going to see a risky dive into, like, the embankment corner? This is a great point by Dane. Fantastic point here. Latifi has been good in the last 2 races. He impressed me since Hungary. That's a very good point. He has been much better in qualifying. Very good in the races. Yeah. And he's another one who is under pressure for his seat. Williams financially secure now. They don't really need the sponsor that Latifi brings. Lavazza. Yeah. Albon linked with one of them seats. There's many other names that are linked with the second seat. Latifi, De Vries, Hulkenberg, Kvyat. The list goes on and on. Yeah. I feel like Robert Kubica, though, he deserves a bit of... of course, people will say Gasly, Max, Giovinazzi. I've got to say, I think that's pretty solid by Kubica. Given he's like not raced this year, he's only done practice sessions, I think that's solid. I mean, he's obviously going to be outshined by Giovinazzi, but yeah, that's not too bad. Will Tsunoda get dropped? I don't think so. I think they'll keep the same lineup. If Albon's going to go to Williams, then I don't see, like, would there be any point dropping him? I mean, you've got Lawson, who's doing very well recently. Vips. Yeah, with Quali P1, it's 50% of the win done. I agree. Let's hope the start. Yeah, we just want a clean battle. We want a good, honest, clean battle. We were robbed of it at Silverstone. Bittersweet. Going into Cop's Corner. The jury's out whose fault it was. But yeah, we want to see a clean battle. We don't want to be talking about a crash again. Dane again. Vettel has scored points in the last 5 out of 8 races. If you count his second in Hungary, yeah, he got. That was very disappointing that he got disqualified. And obviously 5th in Belgium, but we don't really count that as a race. Because it was a shambles of a race in Spa. Well, it wasn't a race, was it? And half points. Quite a lot of nonsense. So yeah, I enjoyed this kind. We've done our qualifying reaction where we cover qualifying and what happened. And then we do like 5 minutes covering quali. And then we jump into the comments. And it's fantastic to see people in here. Last time I did this, no notifications. But of course I did a video saying I would go live. The people want me to go live. We've got a lot of people in here. Joshy J, David, Ro, Dane, F1 Fan Gamer, E Costa, Outlaw. So very good, very good. I hope I've covered everyone that's in here. Yeah, the support's been really good as well. With it being Zandvoort, the support has been absolutely unbelievable. We started the weekend with a preview. Like, you're hitting like 200 views every video when it comes to Zandvoort. Then you got the track guide. I expected that one to do well with not many people knowing the circuit. Then practices. They are what they are. And then quali. Let's see how quali does. Max on pole. Delights the Dutch crowd. I mean, I've got to say, as a Lewis Hamilton fan, of course, I still believe Lewis Hamilton will win the championship. Of course, I want Lewis Hamilton tomorrow to silence the Dutch crowd. But I have full respect for the Dutch crowd. They're absolutely fantastic for Formula 1. For me, Max is producing the following like Ayrton Senna, like Michael Schumacher. The following he has, it's incredible. And that is a big reason why we're back at Zandvoort, because of Max and the crowd he produces. I mean, it's unbelievable. I just love it. It's like a football crowd, orange shirts, flares going off. I mean, they were meant to be banned this weekend, but they still had them in qualifying, even though they're supposed to be banned, which I thought was pretty funny. Great atmosphere. Mexican waves, just all round great atmosphere. Grandstands packed, looks great for the sport, and of course it's even better when Max is on pole. Fighting for the championship, 3 points between them, going down to turn 1. I cannot wait for tomorrow's Grand Prix. What time is actually the race on? Is it 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock? Hopefully we haven't got any stupid, like last bloody time. I feel like we should be starting these races a bit earlier because, right, Netherlands, Zandvoort, 2 o'clock the race tomorrow, so that's not too bad. 2 o'clock, lights out and away we go. There's no rain forecasted, I hope. And yeah, we go. It's going to be epic. I mean, you can't write it, can you? Like, literally, 2 title rivals fighting for the championship. First 2 rows, like, first 2 positions, beautiful. Hello, Denley. Max on pole for the Zandvoort Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton second. Max had a problem with his DRS. And that is why it's so close between the 2 title rivals. We have Valtteri Bottas P3 and P4 Gasly. One big party at the track with the Dutch Orange Army. I know, I bet it's absolute. Could you imagine being in the middle of that? It would be epic. I gotta say, I love it. I think it's fantastic for the sport. But yeah, I still believe in Lewis. I've always said you can look back on the channel. I predicted Max would be a world champion from 2016. He is a special, unique talent. There's no doubt in his speed. I mean, it's plain to see. Max is a future world champion, 100%. Called it back in 2016. I just hope it's not this year. But it's going to happen at some point. But yeah, I mean, let's hope Zandvoort stays on the calendar. I cannot see why it wouldn't stay. I mean, it's good for F1. All the publicity they're getting. Packed grandstands. Looks fantastic for the sport. Good for the sport. That's how every Grand Prix should be. You look at the lights as when we go Monza next week. I mean, it won't be packed. And think about it, it's only 2/3 crowd allowed in with COVID. We'll have 50% at Monza next week. So, yeah, it's not full capacity, but it's still amazing to see so many fans. Will you do a race reaction live stream? All down to the people. I mean, judging by when I said vote, whether you want me to do a video as normal or quali reaction live, a lot of people wanted the live reactions. So I do whatever the people want. I do enjoy it though, because talking about my passion, Formula 1, and we've got people commenting, fantastic. All about interaction, getting people's opinions. We all support our different drivers. We all have opinions. It's what it's all about. But yeah. Who am I going to give quali starter? I still can't. I think Giovinazzi deserves quali star. I've not wrote it down, but yeah. I mean, Max, sensational quali lap. But we expect Max to do that. Gasly, massive shout for quali star. That's an unbelievable performance. Once again, Pierre Gasly. He really is knocking on the door for a Red Bull chance again. But I don't think he's going to get it. And Giovinazzi, wow. That's also massive for Alfa Romeo, because if Giovinazzi can score points, don't forget Williams have really cemented 8th place now in the constructors. So Alfa Romeo really need to start picking up a bucket load of points, because they're quite far behind in the constructors to Williams. And that is massive. You're talking about millions of pounds from being 8th, 9th. Yeah, we've been going. Where's the time? We have been going a while, to be fair, but doesn't really matter. We can go as long as people want, but we do have the qualifying reaction done. We've been going 40 minutes. There's maybe a good time to end. People have got the reaction. This will get uploaded onto the channel, but it does take quite a while for it to upload. I want to thank everyone for watching. And yeah, brilliant. Thank you for the support. Max on pole for the Zandvoort Grand Prix. Join me tomorrow for race reaction. And do comment on the video whether you want me to live stream it or do a video. Thanks for watching. Adios. Gonna be an epic tomorrow. I need to find the stop.